Hey everyone, welcome to the final installment of Karchermakes Vlogmas 2024. We've made it to the end. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for watching. I truly appreciate it. So before we get into the days leading up to Christmas and Christmas, let's just talk about what I'm wearing really quickly. So I featured this in an Advent Makes video that I posted last year. I will leave a link to it below. And this is called the Advent Wrap by Iris H. And it's a pattern on Ravelry. I feel like it's a paid pattern. I don't recall. I feel like it's a paid pattern. But basically what it is a Ruana style wrap. And that means it's basically two rectangles and then you seam it up the center back and then down the sides for the arms. And what drew me to this project is that obviously it's called an Advent wrap, so it should work well for numerous colors, number one, obviously. But two, it's very modifiable. And although I did not modify anything besides the seaming technique that I used to kind of put it together at the end, you could absolutely change this up to whatever you wanted. The pattern has this flower stitch technique that quite honestly is a little time consuming for those rows, but I do think that it adds so much to the design and the aesthetic of the wrap. So if you didn't want to do that, you could absolutely just do more garter stitch, more moss stitch, whatever stitch pattern you want, really. Like I said, it's just a rectangle. It's just two rectangles, so you can really kind of make it your own at that point. But that is the Advent wrap, and I will say, when I wear this out, I get a lot of compliments. Not that we knit for compliments, but it's nice when your hard work is recognized. So I'll insert some footage here of the days leading into Christmas, including the Advent openings for days 23, 24. We'll meet back here. We'll do some project talk, and then we'll open up our Day 25 Advent from FrogIt yarns. It was a 25-day. And then we have the final skeins from both FrogIt and Rising Tide Fiber Company. Day 23, let's see what we have. Starting with Rising Tide Fiber Company, Candyland theme, 10 gram minis. Very purple today with multicolor little speckles. And this color is called Cutie Cone. Very nice. Up next, FrogIt Yarns. Now, FrogIt Yarns is a 25-day Advent. The Rising Tide is a 24-day. So, still got 2 full days to go on this one. Very nice. So this is a slightly peachy, but more of kind of a creamier, maybe brownie tone with orange and brownish kind of speckles. It's going to be a perfect addition to what's becoming a very pretty fade. So here we are, day 23. 2 more days, actually 1 more day and Santa's coming. So I got to go down now and get my bake on, making 2 different kinds of cookies and cake pops. I'm gonna at least do the cake today. I may do the dipping tomorrow, but I at least want to get the cake baked today. Merry Christmas Eve, everyone. It's day 24 of Vlogmas, day 24 of Advent, and we have some Advents to open, and I also have a pair of finished socks to show you. So normally I wait to do project talk and my wrap-up video, but I'm going to be wearing these socks in the next probably 5 minutes as soon as I'm finished here. So I want to show them to you first. And here they are. Freckled Whimsy, merry and bright, and they are quite merry and quite bright, and I love them. Look at how amazing these are. So this is a longer leg than I'm used to doing. Normally I do about a 6-inch leg, including the cuff, and these are significantly taller because I wanted to work all 24 colors in. I did have enough to do the toes, and they're just so amazing, and I can't wait to put these on when I'm finished here. Bravo. I think next year I'm going to get the fingering weight version so that I can do 2 stripes a day, possibly. We will see. Now, let's do Advents, day 24. So this is the last day for Rising Tide Fiber Company. And as a reminder, 10 gram minis, Candyland theme. Oh, it's so good. What a way to wrap up this Advent. This is the final one. And this colorway is called Princess Lolly. Just this beautiful purple with multicolored speckles. Gorgeous, love it. Next up, FrogIt yarns, day 24. Now this one is a 25-day Advent, and for both of these I did get a full skein. They're sitting over here, and I'm gonna wait and open those tomorrow as part of my Christmas gifts. But let's do day 24. So pretty. It's like a creamy tan color with the little darker speckles in it, and it's so pretty. Beautiful. Beautiful. So here we are with day 24 of our Advents. So it is Christmas Eve here. Santa is on his way, quite literally. In my town, I live in a very small town, and they bring Santa Claus around on the fire truck through every single neighborhood, and I've had to miss it the past couple years because we were at parties on Christmas Eve the past few years, but this year we're home and I can't wait to see him. In addition to waiting for Santa to come around on the fire truck, we're gonna be having a little Christmas Eve dinner here. I had planned on doing like little snacks and charcuterie and cheese and that kind of stuff, but we're gonna have a little seafood feast instead. See you guys tomorrow for Christmas Day. Let's start with a finished object. So I finished the next ball for the Bauble Along, hosted by Stacy Lewis, the knitting tutor. And this is day 4 of the 12 Elegant Days of Baubles. And this one is called Ribbon and Lace. And it has this nice little eyelet pattern. And I think it's very pretty with this yarn that I chose from Sunset Fiber Company out of Lancaster, Pennsylvania. And I just think that's so pretty, and it's gonna look amazing on the tree. So next up in my bag from Tanny Casey is the Shift Cowl. And I've made a little bit of progress on this, and I already moved the progress keeper, but I believe the last time I showed it, we were kind of down here in this area. But I'm about to start section 5, and again, I just keep saying the same thing. I just love how this is working up in the hand spun. So this pattern has a total of 7 sections, and like I said, I'm about to start section 5, so this should be done relatively quickly. That's my hope. I have no deadline for it, self-imposed or otherwise, but that should be done quite shortly. So next up, I talked a little bit about these socks on the last episode of Vlogmas for days 21 and 22, but we have some progress. And it's a bare yarn with these purple and black speckles. I ripped out the socks that I designed and started, and I chose to go with the Vintage Fairy Lights pattern from Helen Stewart, Curious Handmade. Like I mentioned, they released an ebook bundle of like 10 different sock patterns, and it was on sale and it was a great value. So I went ahead and got that, and I wanted these to be the Fairy Light socks. So I've started a couple rows of the pattern repeat here. Now, with this pattern, the pattern repeat goes a little bit down the leg, and then the rest of the sock is a 3x1, I'm pretty sure, rib. I don't know if I'm gonna do that. I may just do stockinette for the rest of the sock. It's really gonna depend on what I feel like doing once I get there, but these have been started. They're moving along quite quickly. So up next, I have this yarn from Cesium Yarns, and this was purchased at Frederick Fiber Fest this past fall, and I really loved these greens and thought they would be perfect for some Christmas socks. So I went back to the Curious Handmaid's sock pattern bundle, and I chose the Red Robin sock pattern for this yarn. Now, this yarn is highly variegated, highly speckled, and with these types of yarns, you don't really want to do a pattern that is like super intricate because it's just going to get lost in the coloring. So I chose the Red Robin pattern because it was a very sort of simple slip stitch pattern. And I think you can see here how nicely that is working up. And as a bonus, I kind of feel like these remind me of the needles of a pine tree or a Christmas tree. So added bonus that these are the Christmas Eve cast on socks, and it's giving Christmas tree. So again, that's cesium yarn. The colorway is called Quit Buggin' Me, which is also funny. There's that. You can't have Christmas Eve without a Christmas Eve cast on, or so I've been told. Okay, now that project talk is complete, let's open the day 25 from FrogIt Yarns. Very, very pretty. It's giving vanilla latte. It's a kind of creamy tan color, and then has the darker brown speckles that we've come to know and love with this. And the theme for the FrogIt yarn set this year was Watercolor Winter, and I do think that the colorways and the way they've dyed these really, really lives up to that theme and that idea. Okay, up next we have the full skein from FrogIt Yarns, and there was a nice little note on here that says, hey, you can open this first or you can open this last, and I chose to wait until Christmas to open this. Ooh. First off, we have a sticker, which I love. And if you're not familiar with FrogIt Yarns, they have a yarn trailer. And this is a sticker of it, and it is so cute. So here's the yarn, and it is gorgeous. Look at this. I love purple. I'm very much a purple person, and not just because of ravens. I just like purple, but it's purples and blues. Very stunning yarn. Bravo. I love it. So there's that one. And then up next, we have the final skein from Rising Tide Fiber Company. And as a final reminder, this was Candyland theme. So I'm really interested in seeing what this final skein is going to look like given the theme. Oh, it's so good. It is so good. Look at this. And I hope the light isn't completely blowing this out. So it's more of a bare base, but it has all of these rainbow sprinkles on it. All the colors. Love it. Again, Rising Tide Fiber Company, and the colorway is called Rainbow Trail. So good. It is so good. So here we are with our final two. Our final two full skeins from each of these advents. And I do just want to talk for a second about advents in general. I watch a lot of YouTubers. I follow a lot of people on Instagram. And I watched a lot of Vlogmas this year. And it seems like there were quite a few people who were disappointed in the advents that they received. And one, I didn't see anybody with either of these, so there's that. But Two, if you don't like surprises, if you are very sort of particular about your yarn and the color sequences and the kind of theme or not theme of mini sets, skip advents. Don't buy them. You're just setting yourself up for disappointment, honestly. You have to like surprises. That's probably the number one thing with advents, right? You don't know what you're getting. You can only go by what the dyer has shared in terms of the theme, and what you get is kind of what you get. And like I've mentioned before, and I did another video just about advents, are they worth it? And I'll link that below as well. But like you really do not know what you're going to end up with. So you really have to kind of keep an open mind and not be super particular about what your expectations are. So when I buy an advent set, my expectation is I get 24 or 25 or however many that the advent set comes with, and that's it. And I get it on time. Those are my two expectations. And if those two things aren't being met, that's a different scenario. But to be disappointed in like the colorways or whatever, like that's just, you know, self-management a little bit. Now, all that to say, I love mine. I could not be happier. I cannot wait to put these together and finally pick a project for them and then make something super awesome, kind of like I did with this wrap with a previous advent. So I'll insert some final footage here of the advents in all of their glory, and just we're gonna wrap it up. So future content coming, I will be sharing a video all about the End Times cardigan that I spent nearly a year working on. And it was truly a labor of love, and I know I keep saying that, but it truly was a labor of love, and it deserves like a dedicated video just for that project. I have a lot of thoughts about it, and we're gonna talk about that for sure. Additionally, I want to do just a couple videos about organizing and planning and just getting ready for projects and going through some stash and making some decisions about, do I keep this? Do I toss it? Do I donate it? What have you. So that'll be coming as well. So we'll just wrap up Vlogmas here. Again, thank you all so much for sticking around and watching me open all of these yarns. You can see them over there. And I hope that you found something you enjoyed. I hope that I see you again in the coming months with some new videos coming. And until then, happy making.